and friends, with those of us from the video game and comic book store, Level Up Entertainment, get together each week with some friends and talk about things we're passionate about. This week, we're going to be talking about the Super Mario Brothers series. I'm your host, Scott, and joining me this week, I've got Katie. Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. You ready to talk some Mario? He just turned 35 last year.
He sure did. And he didn't, and he still does exist past March 31st. So everybody can chill.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later. But we'll talk a little bit about our history with the Mario franchise real quick. Although I have a feeling our story is not going to be totally pretty unremarkable as far as like everyone goes. But back in the holiday time, 1985, both Mario and I came to American shores for the first time. So I have a special. I don't remember a world before Super Mario Brothers. So far as I've known, he's always been there. Super Mario Brothers is one of the main reasons I really wanted an NES as a kid. The only one I had was the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt that came with my Nintendo. We bought ours secondhand through like an ad in the paper.
Actually, same here.
Yeah. And then
same thing.
I didn't have Super Nintendo, but then Nintendo 64, I had to have Super Mario 64. It like blew my mind. And then he's always been like a big part of it. Like I'd always go to a friend's house and we play like Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World. Like he's just kind of always been a big part of my gaming DNA, as I'm sure most people have. He's Mr. Video Games after all. But how about you?
Pretty much the same story. I picked up an NES controller at the age of 2. So like I literally don't have much memory before that. Kind of the same deal. We had the Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt like split cartridge. That's basically where I got my start. And then from there, then I got my Super Nintendo at I think the age of 3 or 4, and I got Super Mario World with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, not Super Mario World, Super Mario All Stars.
All Stars, okay.
Yeah,
is it Super All Stars plus Super Mario World or just regular All Stars?
Just regular All Stars. Okay. Nowadays, I have. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Nowadays, I have the combo cart. Like I actually have it in my collection. But yeah, Super Mario All Stars. That was pretty much. I mean, like I do remember playing the NES one, but like All Stars was where I really got my start with Mario.
Yeah. I think that might be my most played NES game. To this day, I still have not beaten the original Super Mario Brothers.
Really?
I get to the last castle. I don't know the pattern, and then I get frustrated and stop.
I don't blame you. Yeah. It's still hard. Like even nowadays, like I'll go back and play it just for funsies, and I'll always get right up to that point, and I'm just kind of like, all right, I don't have time for this anymore.
Yeah, even though I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I really didn't have a lot of Mario games in my early childhood, because when did N64 came out? Like 1996, something like that.
It was about like 96, 97.
So I was like 10, 11, something in there. But like, Mario was like such a ubiquitous part of just like that culture in general. Like there was so many Mario cartoons we would watch. All my friends played it. Like all my friends had like the other games. It's like I never really played Super Mario 2. I'd play that at friend's house.
Okay.
I played a lot of Mario 3 and Mario World with friends, because I didn't have Super Nintendo. The reason I didn't get one is my parents gave me the option between that and the Sega Genesis. And my next door neighbor had a Super Nintendo. So I was like, well, I can just go over there and play his games. I might as well. And I wanted to play Sonic. So
I felt like that was always the driving force of like what console would you buy? It was always like, okay, well, what do my friends have? Then it was like we always kind of like shared them in a weird way. Like
that's why I never really got so much into the war. It's also not like as a kid, like we were spending our money on it. Like I understand.
Exactly.
I understand like I can only afford to, spend $400 on one thing. I need to kind of defend my position. But it's kind of the same reason I explained to people, like, ask me like what should I get a PlayStation or Xbox? I'm like, which one's got the games you're going to play? Which is why I mostly just stick to Nintendo now, because they're the only people that make the games I'm like interested in. If it's something I really want to play, it'll come out on PC and I can play it there.
That's honestly like anymore when it comes to like buying consoles or anything like that. I mean, I've always bought Nintendo consoles no matter what. That's just always been my thing.
Mhm.
But like I'm in the same boat as you. Like nowadays I'm not really struggling to find a PS5. I'm not really going after an Xbox, whatever they're called these days. Like I have my Switch and I'm good, and my PC, and I feel like I have like the spread. I'm
Well,
good.
like especially like launch day stuff, like specifically talking about the Xbox Series X or whatever the new one is. God, their naming convention is so confusing.
I
And
know.
PlayStation 5, like what are you
Feel
gonna
bad for parents.
like what are you gonna play on it? Like the best games also came out on the last gen version.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like that's why I didn't buy a Switch at launch, because the game I really wanted to play with it with Breath of the Wild, I had a Wii U, it came out on that. I'm like, well, I'm not spending $300 to
Yeah.
play a
Like
game I can
you would
play
have to
already.
have a
Yeah.
stronger like launch I guess
Now
start.
to tie it back into Mario,
Yeah, let's go back to
we
Mario.
talked that year. They also announced Super Mario Odyssey was coming out, and I was like, well, I'm getting one by the end of the year because I need to play this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's bring it back to basics. So I want to talk a little bit about some like our favorite like traditional classic platformer Mario games. And
Okay.
I get a little bit of heat. All right. So my favorite one, like all time right now,
Mhm.
is Super Mario Odyssey, which I know is the most recent one, because my favorite one before then was Super Mario 64.
Okay.
I put so many hours into it. It's one of the earliest games I remember like getting all the stars and like 100%ing. I have so many like strong fond memories for that. And Mario Odyssey is kind of the game I was waiting for since I
Mhm.
played that. Like I didn't like Sunshine. The Galaxy games are fine. The new Super Mario Brothers games, like at least the multiplayer ones, I had fun with, but they weren't like they didn't scratch that itch.
Yeah.
And then Odyssey was the open world game. Like it's super anyway. It's 64. Like I have no desire. I not that I have no desire, but I have like no need to go back and play that now.
Yeah, like I 100% agree with you. I feel like now I actually didn't really play Mario 64 much back then. Sunshine was like more of my thing. I was a big fan of Sunshine.
Sunshine seems
Um
to be like there's no in between. You either love it or you don't.
there is no in between. And you know what?
Yeah.
The people who hate Sunshine, I 100% agree with them.
Yeah.
The gripes that they bring up, like controls and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah, I hate the control.
I 100% agree. It's just
Yeah.
it's a nostalgic tie. That's all it is.
It's got a lot of things I like. Sunshine's got a
And I
lot of
like the
stuff.
art style.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff I like in it. It's just
Yeah,
for me, video games, I care most. Like gameplay is paramount,
sure.
and something about the controls, like it just doesn't feel right.
No, it
And,
doesn't.
and
And that's
yeah,
I can honestly I can see it because like there have been many a time that I've been climbing it like up something and say like I can never remember the names of the levels, but the theme park level. Like
yeah,
for instance, like you're climbing to the top of that like structure and you just like nudge the control stick just ever so gently and you end up just falling all the way back down. And it's just
yeah.
like, okay.
Or like the pachinko game that's in it.
Oh my God.
One of the worst Mario levels of all time. But
I get like legit PTSD from that, but
yeah.
no, but like I going back to Mario 64 and Odyssey, like I feel like Odyssey was the only time that they really did recapture the same magic that Mario 64
Yeah, because there's something
had.
about Mario 64. Like I just love moving around in it. It just feels,
Hmm.
and maybe again, I've been playing it for over 20 years. Maybe it's just one of those things like I would want to see someone with like a fresh perspective on it
Sure.
to play it. Like they might be like, oh god, this game sucks. It's so old, but like the DS remake, like I hate the controls in it with the D-pad. I know there's people
Yeah.
that swear by it. I just wish they would take like for 3D All Stars, I wish they like took that content and brought it to a regular controller.
Yeah. I 100% agree there because
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to like Mario or what do you call it? Yeah. The Mario 64 remake on the DS, but
Mm-hmm.
again, the controls killed it for me. It was
Yeah.
just like, and like I like when it comes to controls in Mario 64, I feel like when you played Mario 64, they basically built that game around how to control Mario.
Yeah.
they did the same thing in Odyssey. So like I kind of feel like that's like its weird little link. And like the other games, not so much. They had like other gimmicks to kind of play off of. But like Control was like the big thing for those 3D Mario games. And you know what?
And
Not a lot of them did it well.
and you know what's wild about Odyssey is like they kind of they expected you to break the game with its physics and stuff. Because I've seen people do like these crazy moves, like I can't even do them. But like
Speedrunners.
So like
Wow.
the boundary break and go all over the place. But then
Yes.
always like coins there. So like the developers know you're going to go, someone will go there. So there's something like it's just kind of their way, but like, yeah, you think you're clever, you know.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of crazy. It especially like playing that balloon game in Mario Odyssey. Like
yeah, I think that's like a direct response to like that, people doing that.
Oh, absolutely. That is an absolute direct response.
Yeah.
How much can we break this game? I don't know. Let's see.
But it's awesome that they, I love
it's like so healthy competition between like dev and player. It's like the coolest, like, you do see a response between the two.
Well, like it's the really sandbox cool. In that is so fun. I love that now when you get stars, it doesn't kick you out of the level, which is criticism I know people have about Mario 64. Like it really is stop and starty.
Yeah. Honestly, that's my major gripe with that game.
Yeah.
It's very stop and start. Odyssey makes it so fluid.
That and like most games from that era like look really bad now. Like not faulting them. Like Mario 64 is aged relatively gracefully because it's cartoony aesthetic, but like
sure.
I love Ocarina of Time. But like, man, that game is so ugly to look at now. Which is why like the 3DS remake, like to me, super annihilates the 64 one.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
That's really the only thing they really needed to fix was just what it looked like.
Yeah. Like, I mean, think about it. Those games were, well, that technology back then was so shaky and weird that even when it got into like its later years, it was still kind of weird and clunky. It never really got out of that until like the GameCube.
So which was your favorite Mario game? I kind of dominated that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
My favorite like mainline game is probably Mario World.
Okay.
Out of all of them, that's the one. I mean, that's the one after All Stars, World was like my next Mario game.
So you didn't want to cheat and say Super Mario All Stars plus Super Mario World, get all of them?
Yeah. But like, yeah, that was legitimately, that was the next game I got after All Stars. And I just remember it was something about
World did really take it to another level. No pun intended.
It really did. And, like for real, because it and for me, like how a game looks and feels and sounds has a lot to do with whether, it clicks with me or not. And like soundtracks and everything, art styles are a lot of things that like I kind of look for in a game. And I don't know, like Mario World, just like going from the SNES All Stars to World was so shocking to me as a kid that I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed. And I became obsessed with, and of course, Yoshi being the
everyone loves
major. Yoshi. Yeah. I mean, I love Yoshi. I'm a huge fan. So I will admit to that being a major part of it.
No, that's fine. Yoshi's a big part of that game.
Yes. They built that game around him, basically.
Yeah. So Mario World's a great pick. If I'm talking 2D Marios, Mario World is a very close second. I got to go with Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay.
It's edged out purely by nostalgia. I played a lot more of that as a kid. I love NES aesthetics.
Yeah.
And like that's to me is the best looking NES game.
It is.
Like
hands
I like
down
as an example of like getting a console at the beginning of its life and versus the end. Like look at Super Mario Brothers. Look at Super Mario Brothers 3. It's the same hardware, but like now that people like know how to
really utilize the NES.
How to utilize it more. So many more levels. The graphics are so much better. You can have all these cool power-ups.
The music is really good.
The music's I don't think there's bad music in any of the Nintendo developed Mario games.
Not at all. It's all so good.
Like I can't even think of like a dud track.
Not really. Like I have like massive Mario playlists.
Stinker. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's ones I like a lot less.
Sure.
But I can't think of one that's like just straight up bad. Which is, I'm sure people in the comments will be like, "Oh, you forgot about."
You forgot about.
Yeah.
No, but you
But
know.
no, Mario World's a great game. It's just like, again, like something about 3. I really really like 3.
Oh, sure. I feel like World and 3 are like, when you're talking like classic Mario games, like those are like the two that people
Yeah.
tend to kind of reach for.
I mean, I'm not always gonna have a soft spot for 1.
Oh, sure.
Um,
It's what gets everybody started. I mean, think about it.
I mean, World 1's a brilliant piece of game design. Like, teaches you how to play without telling you what to do. Like, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to get into all of that. Everyone's talked about World 1 for like 1,000 years.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know, and doing like I'm looking at my Super Mario Maker poster from 5 years, 6 years ago now, because it's the 30th anniversary celebration
Oh
game.
my
Like,
gosh.
I learned, I started looking at the old games more critically like that and trying to take some of their lessons, which I guess we can segue into like our non-mainline Mario games. That
Sure.
might be my favorite Mario game,
Maker.
the Wii U version specifically.
Okay.
If we could mix the two, I'd be so happy, because Mario Maker 2 has so much stuff that I love in it.
Yeah.
Something about making the game on the gamepad is so much more fun than trying to do it like on the Switch.
To be honest with you, I loved the Wii U gamepad. I actually loved the Wii U as a
I
whole.
love the Wii U too. I thought it was
Yeah.
great.
I thought
so
it was a
much
great
fun.
console. I totally agree. I thought the whole, like, I bought into the whole gimmick. I was like, you know what? This is fine. Like the Wii, I was kind of like, like I don't dig motion controls too much.
I think
But
the Wii U's biggest problem is the name and the marketing for it.
yes.
It sounds like an add-on to the
Yes.
Wii.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It honestly sounds like again, it goes back to the Xbox naming thing. Like
Oh my
for
God.
parents, that's got to be so confusing. For parents who have no idea what games are.
It's confusing for us who work in the industry. Like, since
Yeah.
we sell retro games and they announced the Xbox One's name, I'm like, are you kidding me? Because that's what everyone calls the original Xbox. I'm like, that's just going to confuse everyone so much. Like,
when I first heard about that, my heart broke and I immediately thought about you guys, because I was just like, oh no, they're gonna have to field so many questions.
and to be fair, I hated the 360's name, but at the time I was just like, hey, the Xbox or the 360? Like, that was a little bit easier.
Yeah, at least it made sense. At least it made sense.
Yeah,
this one doesn't.
Yeah. And anyway, I don't want to. This isn't a gripe about
anyway.
Xbox. But
Anyway.
I love Mario Maker, man. I will say the first one, I think it was more fun to make than it was to play. I do think it's more fun to play. It's easier to get good level, like find good levels. They have better curation stuff. You can have multiplayer now.
Mhm.
There's a lot of stuff that's better about 2. It's just making, if they could have brought like like a stylus over for handheld mode, I think that would have gone a long way.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't. Honestly, like I thought that for Mario Maker, that would be a really cool little tool just to have. And again, like, it's a Nintendo gimmick. Like, it would just fit right in with everything else.
No,
but
and it's not bad. But like, I used to, when I was the first game, I would take the gamepad. I wouldn't be playing on TV or whatever. I'd be watching like TV or whatever, and I would just doodle around and making levels.
Yeah.
And out and playing it. Like, that's when Nintendo's the best, when it's just like simple little things, like, but they make fun. It's like Mario Paint,
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, Mario Paint. Exactly. That's immediately what Mario Maker made me think of. And I was just kind of like, I was so excited that they were releasing something like that. Like, I didn't get too much into Mario Maker. Like, I was more into playing the levels than I was making them.
I made so many levels in that first game.
I remember you going on like benders. Mario Maker benders.
Part of the trouble is, like, I had one level that was like, I called it Crisis of Infinite Mario's, because in the Super Mario Brothers theme, they had the mystery mushroom, which they got rid of in the new one. But like, so you could get like tons of different like characters you could play as, including all these different versions of Mario. So I did one where it's like you're going through like the different games. It's like, when you go to Dr. Mario, I'd have a thing with like falling platforms. And then Mario Land, they would do the thing where he's in the jet. So I'd make a little shooter level, because they added like little like things like that. It was so much fun but every time they made a new Mario costume, I had to go update it again and make a new section,
Yeah. Kept you on your toes at least.
Yeah. But I'd have so many levels of like I would enter some into like contests I'd see on websites of like, make a level based on a movie. And I made one based on Jaws, where one of the aquatic dry bones, the dry fish, I forget what they're called, like chases you through like an underwater level.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
See,
I did
I
so many
love seeing
based
stuff
on
like that.
I did so many based on Ghostbusters.
Oh, I'm sure.
I did a penthouse, the level's called like Penthouse and Spook Central, was his line from that. But it's like, it's basically like a ghost house, but it's a tower.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Oh God, I had so much fun with that. And I had fun with the new one too. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about making, like, I miss that the first one has that the new one can't compare to.
Yeah, it like they definitely are different games at their core. I like, and again, it kind of goes back to like that feel, like you have to, like when a game has a feel to it,
Mhm.
like it's hard to replicate that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I didn't play too much Maker, but maybe you can expand on that.
Yeah,
But
it's just
like,
it making feels different. It feels slower and clunkier on the
yeah,
Switch.
yeah, because they kind of took away that cool gamepad stylus. Like, I mean, you like when you're making a level in Maker 2, can you still use it as a touch screen, or is
As
that
far as
gone?
I don't, it's been a while since I played it, but I don't think you could.
Oh,
'Cause
okay. See, like I
I
feel like
think I
that would change the
wanted
whole
to.
thing.
No, wait, I do think you do. I do think you can, but
Oh,
something
okay.
about the screen, it's like it's much more cramped, or like it's not it's not as optimized for the screen, I think, as they need to make it the same for the TV versus the gamepad, or
Yeah.
versus when it's in handheld mode.
Yeah, hardware is completely different. So
Yeah,
they're
so
basically remaking that.
something about it, like I feel like I never have enough at my fingertips when I'm doing it hand.
Understandable.
But yeah, so I guess that'll go into some of the, we can talk about some of the side series, because I know what I think your actual favorite Mario game is. If correct me if I'm wrong, but it's also for Super Nintendo, right?
It is also for Super Nintendo. Yeah, Mario RPG. Hands down. Probably, if not my favorite game. No, it's not my favorite game of all time. It's probably my second favorite game of all time.
What beats it out?
Mega Man X.
Okay, I should have guessed.
My shrine to Mega Man over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like absolutely, like Mega Man X, Mario RPG, and probably Majora's Mask would be like top three if I had to. If I had to,
I was gonna guess the Super Nintendo Aladdin as your third one.
that would be more like top 10.
Okay.
But yeah, Mario RPG. I mean, I'm trying to learn the speed run for it. I actively play the randomizers that they do nowadays, which is insane, and I love it. What else? I know that game inside and out. The soundtrack is my favorite. I have like, geez, I have a little.
It's like
thing.
it's like the Reese's Pieces of video games, because it was when Nintendo and Square were at their best. So it's like
Yep.
two great tastes that taste great together.
And you know what? And again, I go back to the feel of a game. There is something about Mario RPG that has never been able to be replicated.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's just the way that the game looks, like with it being that pseudo 3D kind of like weird, like blocky look, and then like the soundtrack being the way it is.
Did you have it as a kid, or is this something you played more as an adult?
I didn't own it up until I was in high school, but
Okay.
I rented that from Blockbuster probably every weekend. I know I kept it at least overdue for 3 months at one point. There was one time I did that and I got in trouble. But
RPG, you can't play it on the weekend. Like, you know what I mean? You can't beat it then.
Yeah,
Although you said you're speed running, what's the record?
The record I think for any percent is a little under 3 hours. I think it's like
That's insane.
Dead serious too. It's like 257.
Oh my god.
I think. I'll look it up while we're talking. But
yeah, but I didn't play that game until I was an adult, when it was on the Wii, on the virtual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I played it on original hardware, like,
okay, yeah,
all the time. I was obsessed with it as a kid. Even my mom could attest to that. And actually, I kind of have a funny story for Super Mario RPG.
All right, what is it?
I found it by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because back then the internet wasn't really a thing, and like you would only I was subscribed to Nintendo Power, but like I was a kid and I didn't have my own money, so like I kind of just found out about games just because of Blockbuster, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Blockbuster pretty much every week, but I asked my mom to pick up A Link to the Past for me, and they didn't have it. So the next best thing that she saw was Mario RPG, and she was like, "Well, Mario's in it, so I kind of figured you would like it."
Yeah.
Needless to say, second favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
Now, so I found it completely by accident.
That's high praise. I like Super Mario RPG. I kind of like the spiritual successors more.
Okay. Like Paper Mario or like Mario and Luigi?
I love Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. And I like the first Paper Mario, but like Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door on GameCube, they're like chef's kiss. Like that to me is like Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door is probably is my favorite of the Mario like myriad of RPGs.
That's one I've never played.
Really?
I have never played Thousand Year Door. It's on my list. Like I have to play it.
You've played the other Paper Mario games, right?
Oh yeah, the first one is I'm obsessed with it.
I like the first one a lot.
Totally obsessed.
It to me comes down to like there are two slight like it's a little bit of apples and oranges with the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of the GameCube nature, like being a GameCube game versus N64, there's able to be more stuff in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like,
I
think it's got one of my favorite collections of like Mario characters.
Okay.
Because like one of the things like the Paper Mario games have over all of them, at least the classic Paper Mario games, they're such weird, interesting collections of characters and places to go. And the GameCube one, Thousand Year Door, goes way more bananas with it than the N64 one does, which is why I think I like it more. But like what can we say about the writing? They're so funny. Like, I don't know.
Like the dialogue is amazing in those games. It's so funny and just witty and cute and just it's so well thought out.
But no, I gotta let you play Thousand Year Door. I'll let you borrow it. It's in the other room now.
Oh, thank you. I want to actually I want to stream it. Like that's a game I wanted to play through like on stream because I've never played it before.
Oh, I'll definitely come in the chat for that.
Cool.
I guess this is a good time. We should probably plug where you guys stream at.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to do that at the end?
Yeah, we're talking about streaming right now.
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, I am not really that active on social media in general anymore. I'm kind of trying to get away from it. But like I do have a Twitch page. It's Tronbon, but it's TR0NB0NNE.
Oh, no.
Is where I usually stream there, and also at Poorly Played Games as well. Okay. They're my friends who we used to be pretty active all together, and we're actually gonna start doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
So now that COVID situation is kind of calming down a little bit on our end, so we're trying to get our group nights back up and running together. So we're gonna hopefully start doing that again. So those two places are usually where you could see me playing some sort of game.
I remember watching you do this SNES Aladdin speedrun. Did you get that record at some point?
I didn't. I'm on the board. Yeah,
that's the one I watched then.
I definitely have fallen quite a bit on that board. Aladdin suddenly got super popular and people started running it, which is great. I want people to run that game.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna want to run Thousand Year Door.
Oh my God.
It blows my mind. 3 hours. Those games are huge.
Well, actually, now to go back to your original question, the world record for Super Mario RPG any percent is 2 hours and 46 minutes and 24 seconds.
Jesus.
Was achieved 10 months ago by a streamer named Just Incredible.
Wow, that's just incredible. Oh my gosh, like
makes me think of The Wrestler.
I can't even imagine beating that game in 10 hours.
I honestly
is there like a glitch you can go through like a section and avoid like big chunk of the game?
Oh yeah, there.
Okay.
You have to skip the very first boss fight in order to even like do this run. Like you have to skip Mac, like the giant sword in the Mushroom Kingdom in the very beginning. There is a glitch that you can do where you can just skip that entire battle.
Okay.
Just completely. And it actually, I think you have to do that in order to
imagine it probably
do this run.
I assume boss battles like RPGs are by their nature much slower. So like,
yes.
you kind of need to avoid whatever you can.
Yeah. Basically, like speedrunning RPGs, at least what I'm learning, because I'm not just learning this one, but I'm also learning Command Mission on the GameCube, Mega Man X Command Mission. The one thing I'm learning about the two is that RNG is terrible.
That's the worst.
Which, I mean, it can make or break a run. Glitches are everything. Glitches and like having a walkthrough is almost paramount.
Yeah.
I know for Command Mission, I need one in order to actually get through it. But yeah, like RPGs are something else, man. I can't imagine what the 1,000-Year Door run is like.
But yeah, no. So this little tidbit will make you run out and play 1,000-Year Door right now. As you know, it's split into chapters like the first game is.
Right.
But in between, like in each new chapter, you can bump into Luigi, who's having a parallel adventure with you. And he'll tell you about what happens in it. But each time he's got his own like other partner, and the partner tells you about how Luigi keeps screwing up that part of the mission.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I want to play it now.
Like that alone to me makes it worth playing, but like, it's so much fun.
That's so clever. I love that.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of a running joke. I mean, Luigi is not in, except for the Mario and Luigi series, he's not in any of these RPG games at all. No. Except for like maybe the beginning and the end of each of them. But
and speaking of Mario and Luigi, I do really love the first one. They're all pretty great.
Me too. I love Superstar Saga.
Something about the first one, yeah. Like I think because since it's the first one, it's a lot more stripped back. And like it just focuses on Mario and Luigi. But there's all these really fun callbacks to like you fight like some of the random enemies are like the viruses from Dr. Mario. It's another game that Geno appears in.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember when I saw that for the first time, I flipped. I was like, oh my God, it's Geno!
Finally! I picked that game up because it was for Game Boy Advance because I was flying to California and I wanted to pick up some new games. I grabbed that and I think one of the Castlevanias like Symphony of the Aria or something. One of the Game Boy ones. I don't remember which one, but I ended up playing.
All labeled like that.
Yeah, I remember really getting into Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
I just thought like the thing that I loved about Superstar Saga, and it kind of like what also kind of reminded me about Mario RPG a lot was that it was very like rhythm based. Like you know when you had your timed hits and like you know when you had the block stuff and all that kind of stuff. Like in both games, I felt like they kind of almost like went along with the music in a weird way.
Yeah.
So like I had that same feeling in both of those games. And that's something that I really love about Mario RPG games in general is that they seem to be very, very tied to the soundtrack. And like, I know you haven't played it, but like the new Paper Mario and the Origami King, same thing. The soundtrack is like a huge part of the game. And honestly, like even like the battles, as weird as the battle system is, it's almost like timed almost like a rhythm game. It's really bizarre. It's awesome.
I'm one of those guys, like if it's not an action RPG, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm one of those Paper Mario guys.
Yeah.
Although Super Paper Mario is, at least at the time, was because we didn't get 2D Mario games. It's kind of neat. Like reason that game kind of works for me is because it's so weird. It still has that.
Is that the one that's
flavor.
Like a platform?
Yeah, and then it like switches between 2D and 3D.
Okay, that's the one that Joey really likes. Believe it or not.
Because it's not really an RPG. I know he's not an RPG guy.
Not at all. I've tried.
But that's fine. They're not for everybody.
No, they're not.
They're not for me as an adult. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, honestly, like they're huge time sinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally understandable.
No,
but like, yeah, I feel like the Paper Mario series has been, it's like, I don't know, like I tried to follow it as much as I could. The first game is my favorite out of the entire series. I still need to play Thousand Year Door, but
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
interested
tried.
to hear your opinion change if it changes after Thousand Year Door.
Yeah,
It seems to be
I'm
between
sure.
those two for people.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. It's like it's almost like the same thing like Mario Sunshine. Like
Yeah,
it's like you love it or you hate it, kind of a like
yeah.
deal. But yeah, like the Paper Mario series, I just felt like each game was just its own thing. Each one was
Mm.
different, and I think that's what I found really interesting about it. Whether it flopped or not, that's at least what I found interesting about like the Mario RPG like world, if you will, is like
Yeah,
each game is different.
and that's cool. Like every game's got its own gimmick, especially the Mario and Luigi series.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's kind of interesting that Mario he has such a like if you count them all just like as a series, like he's had some pretty long running like RPG spin-off
Yeah,
like life. Like
it's
surprising.
it is extremely surprising.
Figured that would
I
be like
didn't.
Zelda, you know?
Yeah, I didn't think that Mario RPGs would really stick, and I think that's why like the original Mario RPG when it came out, it just blindsided everyone because it was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
what is this? And I just feel like since then they haven't been able to
Like
like
recapture
capture
them.
that
Yeah.
same. Yeah, like it's there was nothing like that game. That game is like its own thing, and that's what I love about
Well,
it.
I gotta try out Bug Fables at some point because
Bug
apparently
Fables.
it's like an indie game it's essentially a classic Paper Mario game. I hear nothing but good things about it.
Oh,
It's on
really?
Switch and like it's on digital storefronts, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
It's called Bug Fables.
Yeah, he plays like bugs,
Oh,
but like
okay. I'll
it's
have to
very
look for it.
it still has that paper aesthetic.
See, I love that. I love that art style about it.
Yeah,
I just think it's so like how it looks like a children's
it's so
like
striking and different. And but like
yeah.
when I was a teenager when it came out, I'm like that is dumb, and then moved on with my life. And like I wish I knew about it when I was
It
I was
just
still
didn't hit you
playing
at
the
the right
64.
time.
Yeah.
That's
Um.
funny.
Man, no, I mean we haven't even scratched the surface of Mario spin-off stuff. Like, what about the sports games?
I mean, I could go on. I love the sports games. I will like I don't know what it is, but like I think it's just Mario's aesthetic in general
Mhm.
that I'm just attracted to for some reason, but like I'm obsessed with like Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario Golf, Mario
Mhm.
Tennis. Like I mean since I was a kid, I played those games. So like I'm all about it. I
I
love the spin-off games.
I loved Mario Tennis on 64, and that's something about all of the games that came after that like have not hit the same.
No, they haven't.
It's
I totally agree with you there. There
yeah,
it same kind of thing like with Mario RPG. Like the original Mario Tennis had this feel to it
yeah.
that has never been
Well,
able
like
to be
all the
recaptured.
courses like were felt like depending on what kind of course you had, like the physics would change. It
Yeah,
just feels like there's like less and less options and stuff. I'm mildly curious about the new golf mode where you hit the ball and then run, like everyone's
I'm
playing at the same time.
excited.
I'm
Like people were
cautiously
really upset about that direct, but when
I'm
I saw that,
cautiously optimistic.
yeah, I mean it totally understandable. It looks bizarre as hell, but
In
I'm
my
all for it.
in my opinion, the Mario sports games have not been worth $60 for a while.
No, not $60.
So
I like
I can't
40, sure. But
justify like running out and like being like I got to get this day one. But to me, the Mario sports games are kind of like they fall into my relationship with sports games in general. Where like
yeah.
maybe once a console generation, I'll get like a craving for like football or basketball or baseball or whatever, and then I
Yeah.
usually prefer an arcadier experience rather than a simulation one. Like I'll prefer like NFL Blitz over Madden or NBA
Right.
Jam over 2K. So like Mario stuff leans more into that. So they're more safer bets for me
Yeah.
that I would like. But I saw you included Kart as a sports game. To me, that's become more of its own thing.
Actually, yeah, it kind of has. It
Yeah.
It was, I used to lump them, and I still kind of do, but I
I
think
mean,
you're right. Like,
racing is a sport, but like Mario Kart's
yeah,
its
but
own franchise really at this point.
100%.
So
It's so popular now that
what
it's like,
what's your favorite Mario Kart? Because I can tell you mine.
what's your favorite?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's just got so much
Okay,
content in it. Before that,
I agree.
surprising, like before that though, I would have said Double Dash.
Okay, yeah,
And Double Dash was one of the ones like at the time I was like, all right, it's good, but it's no Mario, Mario Kart 64.
right.
As the years went by, like that game grew on me more and more. Like it's got the more timeless feel to it.
It does, and like I have a very special place in my heart for Double Dash, just because it's another one of those games, just like Mario RPG, that like it hit me at the right time, and
Mhm.
ever since then, I just have this like I love the original Mario Kart actually from the Super Nintendo. I'm the weird one with the
Yeah.
weird, yeah. But again, I tie that back more to nostalgia than anything. But like
That's fine.
8 Deluxe hits the nail on the head in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because
I don't think you can get better than that.
Mario Kart 8's the first Mario Kart since Double Dash that like had the same feel. Like we felt way too floaty and way too rubber bandy. But like
I did not like the Wii one. I tried. I really tried.
With Deluxe, because it has so many like the great classic tracks from across the series. It's got Zelda and other Nintendo stuff in it now.
And now they have Animal Crossing in it, which I'm
Splatoon.
a huge fan
like
of.
there's so much content in it that it's
becoming like
impossible
Smash
to
Brothers.
deny. Yeah.
It's now like I feel like the two of them are they're not exactly on the same kilter, but like they're pretty much,
they're two like essential games for every console.
Absolutely.
And I would say this might be a bold statement, but I would say Mario Kart more than a Mario proper game. Since like
Wait, what do you mean?
Like since like it's more important to get like a Mario Kart right. You know what I mean?
Than like a mainline Mario game.
Yeah, because like
I agree with you there. Because like I feel like, well, they're two different audiences.
Well, they're also like, because they're multiplayer, like, someone plays it at someone's house, they really like it, they go buy another one, and then they play together. Like it kind of, it's like it feeds stuff more,
Absolutely. Yeah, like that, what you just said, like you can do that with Mario Kart, where like, like say like Mario Odyssey might be a little tougher to kind of like sell to your friends, but like Mario Kart's just like, okay, dude, play one round with me, and then like,
yeah,
it's like an instant buy.
Yeah, but they're like
whereas-
games that like, you play it and like it's one you'll always kind of come back to, again, like Smash Brothers, at least
Sure.
in my experience in my circle of friends. Like when we can start all hanging out again, like
yeah,
Smash Brothers will come out. It always comes out when we do Christmas parties.
always.
I'm sure Mario Kart will,
Yeah, like that's like my favorite part. Like even like as an adult and like as I'm getting into my 30s, like my favorite thing about hanging out with friends anymore is like breaking out the Switch and like playing Smash Brothers together. Or like, like they've made it so easy to do that now. And like the Switch is so easy to set up, and like, it's portability and everything, like bringing it somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's super easy to bring to your house if we
it's awesome. Like I just feel like Nintendo they're still the best company out there, even in today's world, like hands down, at least in my eyes.
Well, there's no such thing as a good company in my opinion, but I have.
Well, no.
Yeah.
We don't have to go down that road.
But as far as like the main game developers and game companies, yeah, like I hesitate to call myself a fanboy because I'm not like blind to like their issues, but like they're the people that make the games that like I'm interested in playing.
Sure.
We've had people that followed the podcast, like almost every game episode we've done has been related to Nintendo. Either we're talking about Zelda and what we want in Breath of the Wild 2, now we're talking about Mario Brothers, we're talking about NES, we're talking about Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube, yada yada. Like it's like I don't feel that kind of passion about PlayStation.
Neither do I. I mean, like I just,
and there's fun stuff on there. I enjoy my time.
Sure.
the time I've had with an experience with PlayStation as an example, but
Sure. I mean, like I grew up. I mean, I didn't personally have a PlayStation growing up. Like I
Mhm.
had PS2 like when I got into college. But like to be honest with you, like playing a PlayStation 1 at like my friend's house or something like that, I loved everything about the PlayStation. I loved how the games looked, how they played, how they sounded, like the original Crash Bandicoot, Tomb Raider, I'm trying to think of what else I played.
it's
Like
crazy
that
that
kind of
you can play
stuff.
that all
Final
on the
Fantasy,
consoles now.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like that was stuff I grew up with too, but like I agree with you. I just feel like it didn't capture the same feeling that Nintendo did for me. And even like now, as I'm like becoming an adult, I still have that same appreciation for Nintendo, even more so now. I just now have money that I can.
Yeah. I got I got a surprise for you. You've been an adult for a while. You're an
True,
adult before you turn 30.
it's the truth.
Yeah.
No, I just, it's one of those things that like I'm still so passionate about. And like it's great because it keeps me young.
Yeah.
So thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah. But yeah, so you never answered me. Which is your favorite Mario Kart?
Oh, my favorite Mario Kart. Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be for whatever reason. It's the one you like to play with the
Okay.
most, like with friends or
The one I like to play the most with friends is
okay.
probably Deluxe right
Okay.
now. Like Double Dash is in there, but it's like I feel like you it needs to be like you need to have four people. I don't know. I have a really weird feeling
it's at
about
its
it.
best when you have four carts going.
Yeah. Like with two it's fine, but like when you have four carts going in Double Dash, it's just chaos and I love it.
I will
But
say
like
battle mode probably never was better after 64,
oh yeah,
just because of Block City.
Block City. Oh my
Yeah.
god. But like probably my favorite Mario Kart to play like over and over again is the original.
That's
I'm gonna be
surprising.
totally honest. Is the original.
You can you explain to me why? Because it is by far my least favorite to play.
Nostalgia.
Okay, because it's
Nostalgia and like I have the muscle memory for it.
it's
It comes
so
naturally.
brutally difficult.
It is. It's brutal. Like honestly, I would love for like younger kids today who are like playing Mario Kart 8 and everything like that to go back and play the original because if you want a real challenge, play that game. 200cc has nothing on the original.
Oh man, what happened? Like, I remember when I first played 200cc, I was like, oh my god, I'm going way too fast. Like, I actually started using the brakes and stuff.
Yeah, like you have to use the brakes.
Yeah.
You have to.
So
I've
I was immediately
tried.
like, I got to use the brakes. I'm not playing this mode anymore.
Yeah, no, I dipped out of 200cc very quick. I was like, you know what? I'll stick with 150. I'm fine with that. That's chaos enough.
It's more my speed.
Quite literally. But yeah, like I have a complicated relationship with Mario Kart, but the original one is probably like if it's just me and I'm just sitting down to play a game, I would play the original.
I would say that's probably a better single player experience than it is multiplayer, especially if for no other reason than like it's only 2-player.
Yeah, and like even like the 2-player, like the battle mode in Mario Kart is still fun. It still holds up today.
Mm.
The original, I mean. But you're right. It like you only have like you can only have one other human player and the rest of them are CPUs and the CPUs suck. So it's like,
But then it's like immediately after that Super Mario 64, which our Super Mario Kart 64, which is the N64's got 4 built-in controller ports.
I like Mario Kart 64, but it's not.
I love Mario Kart.
Not my favorite.
I love Mario Kart 64. I'll never not have a place in my heart for that, just for how many hours I put into that.
Oh, sure. I feel like it is a staple and I love it. But like I do like other ones over 64.
I will say it's funny because we usually have Mario Kart 64 up when we do like events and things.
Yeah, like Beer Fest.
Well, Beer Fest is fun to watch a bunch of people who've been drinking a bit to play it.
Oh my god, I loved watching.
Not last year because last year was 2020, but the year before,
yeah,
we had several groups come in not just dressed up as the Mario characters, but specifically with like carts. So it was
That
fun
makes me so
play
see,
that stuff.
I love that. I love when people do that. Like I don't know.
But
I
then we
feel
would
like
do,
you don't get that with any
but
other.
then we would do National Night Out, and you know, with the other stores in the mall, we would do things outside.
Right.
So basically like an outside festival that the police help organize. Um, but we would put, you know, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on their own TVs with like zappers and stuff. But then we would put like Mario Kart 64 out, because then that's something like 4 people can play. And watching kids like not understand how to use the N64 controller is it's never not funny.
It's
They have no idea how to approach it. Which
no idea.
to be fair, it's ridiculous looking.
It
And
is. And even back then,
yeah.
like I remember getting it back then and looking at it and like, is this an airplane? Like, what is this thing?
Yeah, no, it never made any sense.
No.
But it is funny to watch like little kids play with it.
It really is. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm sure there's some other crazy Mario stuff we have not touched on.
I mean, what else?
I mean, I know.
I mean, there's also the, you know, other media.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I've watched some of the cartoons as an adult. When I worked at Suncoast, they were like coming out in like collections of DVDs. And I bought one just on a whim because they're like $5 or whatever. And it was like the ones with like all the movie parodies. So it's like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. The show is bad.
It's bad. It's horrendous. Okay, so full admittal, that was my favorite cartoon series growing up.
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Super Mario Bros. 3, or Super Mario Brothers World?
All.
All right. Because to me,
all
they were all
the
the
above.
same. They were all the same thing when I was a kid.
Well, here's the thing. I also thought the same thing. I thought it was all one show.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got older, I realized that they were actually all separate. Like I thought the Super Show was just like
the whole thing.
You know, the whole thing with like Lou Albano and Danny Wells and them, and then the Mario Brothers 3 cartoon, which was kind of the same thing. Yeah. And then Mario World. I honestly thought they were all under like the Super Show name.
Yeah.
I had no idea that they were 3 different series. But like,
because they all have like the same art style, more or less. They have the same voice actors. It's all the
same voice actors.
Deep productions, you know.
Oh yeah, and like I will say though, out of the 3 of those, Mario World is still my favorite.
I think because they had it's like when I was talking about Mario Brothers 3, like they've had time to figure out what makes it work.
Yeah, and I mean,
and they had Yoshi.
Also, Yoshi is definitely a big pull for me as a kid. I don't know why I was so obsessed with him, but like, I just thought he was funny, so I was like, okay, he's my favorite character.
Were you a dinosaur guy as a kid? Because I was a big dinosaur kid.
I was as much a dinosaur kid as I was a Mario World kid. I mean, like that's I was terrified of Jurassic Park growing up. Oh, so like I watched the movie once. Yeah, like I know like that's your thing. Like when I was growing up, that movie terrified me. So like I wasn't really that into it.
Well, I'm a couple years older than you, and when that came out, that would have meant something.
Yeah, I mean, like I was 3 when I first saw that movie, and it left a bad impression on me, to say the least. But yeah, I don't know. There was just something about Mario World. Maybe it was like the whole caveman thing, like the prehistoric thing. But I just liked how bright and colorful it was. Like
that's fun,
and it was goofy. And like were the Koopa kids in that show?
I don't think they had all of them. I know there was Wendy Koopa and then a couple of the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't think they were all there. I don't think Roy was in there because Roy's my favorite one.
And they all went by different names. I remember that. Yeah. Like I remember, I think
Wendy
Koopa was like Cootie Pie.
Yeah, she was a Cutie Pie. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember. Now I remember those were weird.
It was really bizarre, but I went back and watched it again recently as an adult, and I kind of just love that they had no idea what they were doing. It was like people who have never played Mario wrote these episodes and just made it like a Saturday morning cartoon. But like
throw nonsense at it.
But that's what I kind of loved about it. I loved like the dumb pasta jokes and like, you know, the corniness of it. Like I felt like that was part of I I mean, it was very poorly animated. If you actually do pay attention to it, it's horrendous.
It's all
They
bad.
put no time into that. None.
No,
Oh,
don't revisit it. It's better in your memories if you had watched it as a kid. But
it is. It's way better. Leave it in your memories.
I'm gonna get ahead of the comments. We're not gonna talk about the movie here, because spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about the movie very much specifically in depth at a later date. But I do want to point out, you and I have both met Charles Martinet.
Yes.
The voice of Mario. We can share those stories.
I still think that that's a dream.
Yeah.
I am just so excited. You know how I'm a nervous person when it comes to meeting people. I'm just weird like that. But like,
yeah.
I had this thing in the back of my head, like going to meeting Charles Martinet. I kept thinking like, I really don't want this to be a never meet your hero situation. You know what I mean?
With me, yeah. So
yeah, same here. So I was kind of just like, oh my God, please. Oh my God, please. And we get up there and he is taking pictures of everybody, taking videos, like every cosplayer that he saw, he had to take a picture, whether he knew who they were or not. He took a picture of them every single time. And he was just like, just watching him just from the line, I was like, oh my God, he is as sweet as I thought he was.
Yeah.
No, sweetest man I've ever met, period. And like, it was hysterical that like Bowser's voice actor was right next to him.
Yeah.
And the two of them kept like,
yeah.
like elbowing each other, like, hey, like, you know.
It's funny because we should mention this was at the convention Too Many Games in at Oaks, PA.
Oaks, PA.
We usually try to go to every year. That's a fun convention to go to.
It really is.
But it's funny because I didn't think about it when I saw that the Bowser's voice actors right next to him. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess Bowser would have to pay someone to record like those grunts and things. It's like he doesn't talk, you know.
He doesn't talk, but like, but yeah, it's been the same guy pretty much.
Yeah, I think his name is
since Bowser had a voice.
I think his last name's Kenny. I forget.
I think it's Kenny Powers.
Is it Kenny Baker? Am I making that up?
Bowser voice actor.
Well, while you're doing that, what did you get signed from him?
I actually got. I have it somewhere, but it's put away. It's a really huge poster. Mm-hmm. It's probably like, I'm trying to think, like basically like arm's length.
Yeah.
But it's like all of the Mario characters that he basically voiced, and then some, but they like all in their classic like SNES like time like look to them.
Mm-hmm.
And for each little character he would put like a woohoo or a wow or a, like whatever for each, like like Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, and he would sign in each of their names.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, here's a guy that legitimately loves what he does, and I want to be him when I grow up. I want to be as happy as Charles Martinet when I grow up.
Because we got something for the store from him. He signed it to the store, so we keep it up on the wall in the Hamilton Mall location. I don't know if it's probably going to just stay there. So it's 2 level up. And then Charles, he signed his name next to his face. It's a picture of him and then all of the Mario characters he voices around him. And he signed, as each of them, but like, as he's doing it, he's like talking to you as them.
Yes.
Like
really as he's signing each one, he's like he would just be talking normally to you for like a second, and then all of a sudden a switch would go off and he'd start going like, wah, like he would just start like going off on these tangents. And I felt like when I got up to him, I was so nervous. And when he started doing his thing, I got like so nervous. I just stood there like slack-jawed because I was just like, oh my God, I'm legitimately meeting the voice of my childhood, and he's just up here doing this tangent, and I'm like, this is actually happening.
I know our friend Harry.
Oh my God.
Because he has the Super Mario Brothers pinball machine, which is the first game that he voiced Mario in. He got to finally ask him about that, which was kind of
we found out a piece of trivia
because he's uncredited for it. There's no credits for it, which apparently was a bit of a sore spot. He was very gracious about it, but it was a long.
He was so nice about it.
Yeah, it's been a long running like point of contention in the community. But he brought the translite, which is, you know, the back glass for it, like the image in it. So if you
Yeah.
go into the store and play our Super Mario Brothers game, you'll see his signature next to Mario on the back.
Looks so cool. Oh my
I
gosh.
know.
I still can't believe that happened. Like I remember I was in line with Harry, and
Yeah.
when Harry got up there, I stood there with him because I wanted to see like, okay, what is he gonna say to this question?
Yeah.
So I knew he was gonna ask him.
Yeah.
And the minute he asked him, watching his face change, I was just like, oh no, what did we do?
Yeah.
But no, he was so nice about it. He was like, yeah, so that is me. But
Yeah.
here's what really happened. And he told us that they basically took his voice lines without him knowing.
Yeah.
And put him in the pinball game.
Well, the game came out before Mario Teaches Fishing or whatever that was. PC
Teaches
game.
typing.
Is that what it is? I know it's where like you
Yes.
play like mini games and stuff.
It's I've actually played that. It's extremely bizarre, but yeah, teaches typing.
But
very weird game.
But yeah, no, it predates those games. So as far as an actual game goes, now if you want to be a stickler and be like, oh, it's a pinball game, it's not a video game. There is a side-scrolling level you can unlock in that game. It plays on the dot matrix. You run with one button and you jump with the other flipper button.
It's the truth.
So it has a Super Mario Brothers game in it, and he does the voice. So I don't want to hear about that.
I think it's the original, you know.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's where that's the first voice of Mario right there. It's the pinball machine.
Yeah. And
not Mario Teaches Typing.
Yeah. And the pinball game's fun. It's simple, but I think that works in its favor. Like once you get the hang of the couple of shots you need in it, like you can actually beat that game. And what's fun is so you have to destroy 7 castles in it, you know, like in the Mario games. But what's nice is the castles stay lit, like that you destroyed in between like games, so people can work on it together. But whoever gets
actually gives you like a sense of progression. It's really
cool. Whoever gets the 7th one gets your name, put your initials in, and it's to be put up special. You're instead of being like grand champion or whatever, because it doesn't matter about your score, but you get to be up there as Mario's friend and then like your initials. And it'll come
Mario's friend.
It comes up as a special thing.
That's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Mario's friend. I don't want to be a grand champion. I just want to be Mario's friend.
It's a really fun game. If you get a chance to come to the store and play it, you know, 50 cents like all our other pinball games.
It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, that one's going to stay at the Hamilton Mall store.
Good.
But I think our other pinball stuff's going to move to Summers Point. So.
Yeah,
man. But yeah, so let's get into what we kind of want from a future Mario game. Is there anything in particular you would like? Say they made another RPG, like what would you want them to do?
Honestly, if there was a way that somehow Nintendo and Square can, and I know that they're on better terms these days, it's definitely not like it used to be. If there was some way that they could just come together and make, I don't want a remake of Mario RPG. I would just want another original, like Mario RPG game with those two at the helm. That's what I want. I want to see what they would come up with today, like they did back then. Because like if you look at Mario RPG like critically, a lot of people were like, okay, like where did this game come from and how? Like it feels like one of those like
it's so weird.
It's a really weird feeling game.
It sticks out when you put it with the other Mario games, even the other Mario RPGs, even the ones like they're made of paper.
Yeah, like it doesn't. I feel like the original Mario RPG doesn't really use gimmicks like most of like the Nintendo Mario games do. So, and I feel like you can feel like Square's influence on that, like at least like the RPG aspects of the game. But like, I you know, and I know it's kind of a generic answer, but like I would love those two to just come together one more time and make a Mario RPG game. You don't even have to reference the original. I just want to see what they would make today. Yeah. With everything that we have now, I would love to see what they would come up with, honestly, like just original game.
On a similar token, I guess I'd like to see them do something like just get weird with it, for lack of a better
Yeah,
term. Like
get
a
weird with it.
surprisingly good game was the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yes,
Like
I totally agree.
a Mario tactical RPG shooter. What with the freaking Rabbids, the most annoying thing that ever existed until the
It,
minions came around.
I actually did play that game,
I
and
did too.
I will agree. I don't know what I expected. I went in with it thinking I'm gonna hate this game, mainly because I don't really like Ubisoft, like as a
Mhm.
publisher. And seeing that they were behind it, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. I just kind of thought it would be weird and it would not have that Mario flair to it.
Yeah.
No, I was totally wrong. That game is amazing.
Yeah.
That game is so worth it.
I kept hearing how good it was when it came out because I immediately dismissed it because I was like, well, that sounds stupid. I hate the Rabbids. But then I was
Same.
like, I kept hearing how good it is. I was like, well, it goes down to $20, I'll buy it. So eventually that did happen. I think it was like 25, but it came with the Donkey Kong DLC.
Yes.
Which if you haven't played that, I think that's even better than the main game.
Oh, the DLC?
So in that one, you can only play as 3 characters. You can only play as Donkey Kong, Rabbid Peach, and Rabbid Cranky. But
Okay.
because you don't have characters you can swap in and out of, they build everything around what their unique abilities are more. So like Donkey Kong's all about moving around the screen because you can like swing and jump off things and like climb stuff. So the game plays very differently. It suits like those 3 characters' strong suits more than like
Okay.
the other one. Like, you know what I mean? It feels more specialized.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one that like it just seemed to like come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it was just an instant classic.
I know you're talking about because I'm not the biggest Ubisoft guy either, but
Yeah.
they published Starlink, which is the best Star Fox game we've had in a long time.
Yeah, so like
I played that whole game as Fox with the R-Wing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so it was really fun. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it.
It like I actually I do have it somewhere and I just never opened it.
I picked it up because the toy one was like $10, like Black Friday, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna buy this.
Yeah, it was like some Black Friday deal.
I was like, worst case scenario, I got a cool Star Fox toy.
That's the main reason. I was like, you know what, even if I don't play the game, at least now I have a cool little like R-Wing model that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just like that. Like Ubisoft really, when they started picking up like Nintendo IPs, I was kind of like getting a little nervous, like, oh God, this is gonna suck. And then I was very pleasantly surprised. Normally they kind of fall flat. Like any of their games, they kind of fall flat for me. It's just not for me. Yeah, like I'm not a AAA fan at all.
I'm not either. I don't like like annualized series. I think you need to let stuff cook. Like it's just they're constantly cranking out Assassin's Creeds and
yeah, it's like I've tried Assassin's Creed too. Like, you know, before anybody in the comments says, well, you know, did you actually play it? I did.
I don't.
I hated it.
I also don't like them.
Yeah, not for me.
I think I played the first one, which is probably the worst one, but like whatever. That's not. Those aren't the kind of games I'm really looking for.
Yeah, same.
But I guess for example, like I recently fell back into Stardew Valley hole. So as soon as we're done this, while this podcast is rendering and uploading, I'm going to be playing that.
Oh yeah.
But
I love Stardew I'm
Oh, it's so good. I'm finally playing all the new content. I was trying to avoid it because this is what would happen. It's just all I play in my free time now. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we ever need another 2D game anymore unless it's something radically different because Super Mario Maker 2 exists. And we just have infinite levels now.
Like what would you want to see from like another Mario game? It could be any kind of Mario game. It could be Maker, it could be mainline, it could be spin-off. What do you like as you know, what do you want to see in the future?
Again, this goes into what I just said, and I'm gonna cheat. I want to see something I don't expect. I didn't expect Super Mario Maker, and that became like my favorite game of that year.
That's fair.
You know, like that's still one like it depends on how you count it as a Mario game, because that one didn't really come with like any pre-built levels. At least the new one has a full 2D Mario like adventure in it.
Right.
that Nintendo made. But if you count that as like a Mario game, that might be my favorite one.
Okay.
So many hours, I had so much fun into that. But I want to be surprised by cool and new different things. Um,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind an expansion or a sequel to Odyssey, where it's just more of this. I just get more like different kinds. Like one of the things I love about that is all the kingdoms have like a different aesthetic. Like
Yes.
it all feels so they have different gimmicks and stuff. I love the well, that one's also surprising. I love the capture mechanic. Like
Same.
it makes moment to moment gameplay so much more like varied and entertaining.
Yeah, and you can kind of do anything you want with it. Like it opens the door for creativity, which is really cool.
Yeah, it
It's
finally
always
makes
cool in those games.
all the Mario enemies like in it are like now, oh, like they're not just an obstacle, like they're an exciting new gameplay experience. Like what am I gonna
Yeah.
see when I put my hat on them? You know.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, I would love to see another, like, kind of the same thing, like another expansion on Mario Odyssey, like maybe just more,
It seems crazy that
put more worlds in it.
Yeah, it seems crazy that Isle Delfino wasn't in it.
I know. I was kind of like,
I was kind of
okay,
expecting that. I mean,
same.
spoiler alert, I'm really stoked that we got the Super Mario 64 castle. Like that world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. I flipped about that one a
I'm
little
so
bit.
upset because the day that came out, someone shared that on my social media and that you can play as it's like 64 looking Mario. I got so mad because
Oh no.
because that is something that if I got that as a surprise, I would have flipped out.
Yeah.
It's the same way that like if they didn't say that Spider-Man was in Civil War, when like it cut to the thing and it said Queens, I'd be like, no way, no way, and
It's happening.
I would have freaked out, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, nothing can be unspoiled now.
Yeah.
So whatever.
No, but I agree with you. I feel like if they did like a DLC type thing with Mario Odyssey where they, I don't know, take like Isle Delfino and like
we'll just come. I mean, not that they need to
other
get
like Mario worlds.
yeah, not that they need to get crazy with it because like, oh my god, what if you went to like Hyrule or something? Like they don't need to do that.
No.
As awesome as that would be, and I would love for them to do that. Like, you know, like Luncheon Kingdom, like, oh, like where there's like everything's made of food. Like
Yeah.
they just need to think of something where it's like, oh, you know, like the botanical gardens one where it's like the flower, like I love the mix of like because everything there is like robotic, but it's got this
Yeah.
natural like flower thing. The music in that level is so good.
Oh my god. I was listening to the whole soundtrack the other day and it's phenomenal. Like they put so much into that game, so much heart and soul. And it's like that's what I want
I mean,
in a video game.
That's also a game that it's also a Mario game that let me play as a T-Rex, so I'm very happy.
Fair enough. And a tree.
Yeah.
And a bee.
And all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
But I love the photorealistic like dinosaurs. I love the photorealistic Dudonk City. What an amazing.
I do too.
And it's also such a great love letter to Donkey Kong. Like when you do the final mission in it and it turns like everything turns into Donkey Kong arcade aesthetics. Like
That whole scene when like this, oh my god.
So happy.
Like you can ask Joey like throughout that entire sequence when like Pauline is like singing the song and everything and you're like running through like the level and stuff. I think I had legit tears in my eyes because I was just like, this feels like exactly what you said. It feels like a love letter to like Mario's origin. And it like for you know, for somebody who grew up with Mario, I was like, yes, this is perfect. This is what I want. This is exactly what should be in a Mario game today. Yeah. It's just, I feel like Odyssey, I would be really interested to see how they expand upon that.
I don't know how you follow it up because that almost seems like,
how can
this is going to sound pretty bad, but like, kind of seems like the perfect game to end Mario on.
No.
So much of it's a love letter to the past of that series.
It is like, I just feel like
all of the costumes are a reference to something. Like
they are
calendar picture from the 90s or something, you know, like a bunch of weird stuff like that. You know,
they just put so much love into it. Like I am honestly like very intrigued for how they are going to continue with 3D Marios. I really want to see like if Odyssey is like the best thing running right now. I don't know how you're going to top that. I don't know if you can.
I'm hoping we're getting a Breath of the Wild 2 situation where they have the base for a game built and now it's just a matter of making more.
Yeah. Just like
I
using the same assets, just kind of expand upon that.
maybe not same assets because I do want new worlds if we're going to do that, but like the core movement and physics and all that stuff's there.
Hmm.
And they can probably reuse like a lot of like the same like Goombas and all that stuff. But
use kind of, I mean, even kind of just use the same mechanics, but just give us
more things. Yeah.
more playgrounds to run around.
I want the Mario Galaxy 2 situation with this.
Yes.
Where it's kind of,
it's just better than the first one.
it's all the ideas that they left on the cutting room floor. They just kind of made into a new game.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I can see that.
Yoshi to it, and that's kind of all you need.
Yeah,
you could play as because the capture mechanic, Yoshi was in it, and you can capture him, and that's how you play with Yoshi.
That's true. You know what? I did forget about that.
I did forget about that too.
It didn't seem like it wasn't a huge like part of the game, so I guess
he was on top of the castle in Mario 64 because that's where he is in that. But like, they could make him a part of the main game.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the only way that you can really make Odyssey better. Give us Yoshi as like a constant mechanic, and then
like make it multiplayer. Like Mario and Luigi would be fun.
Yeah. Oh my god. Now I want another Odyssey. Like I want to go back, and I wish I could experience Odyssey again.
Yeah, that's one of the games I wish I could erase from my memory and play again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, because I just remember, like, I don't know, like I
had a smile from start to finish. I loved my time with Odyssey.
Same. I couldn't. It was the first time that I really legitimately could not put a video game down.
Odyssey
like kind of in my adult life.
Odyssey kind of reminded me like why I cared about video games again.
Yeah.
Because
it just had so much heart in it. You know.
I mean, I work in a video game store. Like when it becomes your job, like I don't play a lot in my free time anymore. I don't read as many comics as I don't. People think we play video games and read comics and do nerdy stuff constantly, but like I get a
when
lot.
You're around it all the time. Like
I get that at home, and then like when I get home, I'm like I watch TV and go to bed. Like I do other things now.
Yeah.
Not that I don't still play video games and read comics. It's just not as much as I did when I was like 17.
Oh yeah.
That's also part of being an adult. Like I have like as soon as we're done this, I gotta go do laundry.
Yeah, actually, I should. You just reminded me. I should probably do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I agree with you. Like I don't even work in the industry, and I even find it hard just from life, just from work and other, responsibilities. Like I don't have as much time to put into games anymore, but like when Odyssey was around, like for the first time, I can tell you that I literally paid attention to nothing but Odyssey. And it was the first time I had done that since like high school. And for a game to really capture my attention like that, because like, I mean, I try to play as much as I can in my spare time, but I don't really have a lot anymore. But for a game to legitimately like just completely suck me in like that, like I could gush about it forever. I don't know. I just think Odyssey is one of the best games to ever exist. Period. Yeah. Like everybody should play that game, whether you're a Mario fan or not.
Yeah, I think regardless if it's your first Mario game or not, like it's
just
fun.
Play it. Yeah, it's just so good.
It's fun no matter where you come from.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that's always been good about Nintendo and Mario specifically. For all their faults, like they've got a lot of them. I don't want to dwell in too much. Like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, I should have been stoked for that. Like, in my opinion, they mishandled that like kind of thing. I don't like the direction they've been doing with the Paper Mario series. Like, not everything they do is great. The Nintendo Switch Online kind of sucks. I miss the Virtual Console.
Yes, I really miss the Virtual Console, especially having all those N64 games.
Yeah, like. Yeah, so
I just want to be able to have like, I don't know, because like I have at least on my Wii or Wii U.
I moved all my Wii U, so I have a ton of games on that.
Yeah, I think it's my Wii U has everything now, but like I have so many 64 games on there. Like I just want that on my Switch. I know,
we want to give you money, like
Nintendo. I will buy this shit from you. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but you can bleep that or whatever, or cut it out.
I'll be lazy. Don't worry about it.
Okay. No, like I would legitimately throw money to be able to just play 64 games on my Switch. Like, I don't care how much it is. I would want to, I just want it.
As I'm a bigger Zelda guy than I am Mario. I would love a collection because now Zelda's 35th anniversary. I would love like them to even try to start. I know they're redoing Skyward Sword, but like that's one game for $60. At least 3D All Stars was 3 games for $60. I would love them to bring the 3DS games, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and then like the two HD games from the Wii U. I would love them to bring them to the Switch.
I would love to play Majora's Mask on my Switch.
Yeah.
Like I even said that to Joey the other day. I said, you know what? Like the one thing that I'm really missing right now is like having Majora's Mask. Like, I mean, I know I have it on my 3DS, but like
it's different.
It's different. The screen's bigger. Yeah, and the TV and stuff. Like I would love to have the remake on the Switch. I think it would look amazing.
Yeah,
they just cleaned it up a little bit.
And then they did it. All right, for a physical release, I can understand maybe doing a limited edition for 3D All Stars. There's no reason to take that off the digital store. It's Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. They will always sell. People I want them.
I mean, I understand in a way. I kind of understand Nintendo's weird little like they cause demand. Like when they put out a game like that and they make it limited, like they really do drive up that demand, which I guess is good business, but the way that they handled it was
so
just
it's so anti-consumer. They do They do a lot of things like that. And like as a fan of the company, it is really frustrating.
It is. I just want to be able to play your games, Nintendo. That's it. I will throw money at you any day of the week. I just want to be able to play your games.
The fact that we've never gotten Mother 3 says it all.
I know. I have a repro cart of that.
Oh, I have that illegally translated as well because that's the only way you can do it.
It's the only way you can do it. But yeah, I know.
I would love a collection on my Switch of the Mother games. I didn't play Earthbound until a couple years ago, and it's amazing.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I don't particularly care for the Mother 1, but No,
but like that's another series that like I don't know. Like I get why Nintendo harps on Mario and Zelda so much, but like they really do have other series out there that really need some love.
When was the last time we got an F-Zero game? Like GameCube.
GameCube?
Yeah.
Was that the last one?
GX, yep.
GX, yeah. That was the last one. Like, really?
When are we gonna get information about Metroid Prime 4? At least
that one, I'm like...
Well, that's a horse of a different color because the original studio, like, they had to scrap the game or something, yeah.
They basically had to start all the way over.
Yeah.
And you know what? In game development, that is awful. That is an awful feeling.
I got a good Star Fox game, 64.
Listen, I tried to love Zero. I really did.
I wanted to love it too.
Really tried.
I will say this about Zero. I think it's more fun as co-op.
Absolutely.
Harry and I played it. I think I was firing and he was flying and we had fun. But like on its own, that game's a miserable slog. I mean, I guess it's nice to get Star Fox 2 on this SNES Mini, but like...
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a fan of Star Fox. So like, I really like Star Fox 2. It's trivial why they didn't do anything with it for so long. Cause I mean, the game was totally finished, but I mean, it's a weird game. It's a short game. But it's cool.
The Star Fox games are all short by nature because they're meant to be like high score chasers.
Yeah, they're arcadey shooters.
Yeah, which is fine.
What they are at their core. So, but yeah, like Zero.
Play Starlink. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I really need to play Starlink.
It makes me wish that there was a full Star Fox game. And I'll be honest with you, if you're playing, like, the Fox characters are super integrated into the story in that. Like, they're in all the cutscenes.
Really?
Yeah, your whole crew, even though you play as Fox. Like each pilot, because it's a Toys to Life game, so they want you to buy more toys. They do have it, so you can just buy them as DLC and then just switch them on your screen.
Oh, okay. That's much easier.
But I'll be honest with you, I only played as Fox and I was fine. But like they all have like a special power. His is he calls in one of his wingmen. Like they'll show like one of the random like Star Fox crew members will show up in another R-wing and help you fight stuff
Oh my God,
for
I
a
love
limited
that.
time, and they'll come up with like their little screens and things. But when they do it,
Oh,
it plays the Corneria music.
I
And
love that.
I'd get so excited every time I would like every time a boss happened, I would summon like Peppy or whatever.
Oh my God.
Like you get like a bunch of exclusive side missions where you're like hunting down Fox and stuff. Not Fox, you're
That's
hunting down Wolf.
okay. That's really
Um,
cool. I like that. I'll have to
it's
try it then.
it's cool. Give it a shot if you haven't.
I have it just sitting over here. I just need
You
to
should,
open
you
it.
should play it. It's fun.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I wanted more. I
Yeah.
even grew to like the Starlink stuff in it. But I after that I was like, man, I really want like a Star Fox game that's like
I just want more Star Fox now.
because it's like an open world exploration the game, like where you can go to planet to planet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and like
I feel like they
Yeah,
could
like-
do the Star Fox game like that, and it
it's
would
like
be
No Man's
really cool.
Sky without being procedurally generated.
That's really cool. I'll have to
It's
try it
cool.
out.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, I will.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Mario.
Mario.
But unless you got any final thoughts, I think this is a good place to end it.
Yeah. I mean, listen. There's a reason why Mario is as popular as he is. I mean, that series, the games, everything about it is just there's so much heart put into it and so much love put into it. And I mean, even just watching Super Nintendo World and that
Oh
kind
my
of
god, we didn't even
develop.
talk about that. I'm so excited for that to open up in Orlando.
Can I
wanna
just
go
gush?
so bad. Yeah.
I just need to gush just for a second. I loved watching Mr. Miyamoto throughout
His-
that
his
entire
little-
video.
His little direct, yeah.
And just his it's just there's something so cool about watching like your creation kind of just become this phenomenon and like watching like watching him critically over the years like I have
Mhm.
I don't know, there's just something so cool about it. There's something really cool about growing up with like Miyamoto and his characters
I have opinions about Miyamoto. I think he's an amazing visionary. I can't take away things he does, but like he's so out of touch in certain ways that drives me crazy.
yeah, I mean he's a businessman.
He's also, how old is he now?
I mean he's not a young spring chicken anymore.
But in Super Nintendo World specifically, so I've grown to really like theme parks, but I hate rides. So I appreciate that the whole park is like a game.
Yes.
Like when I go there, I'm getting a watch. I'm
gonna do the whole thing.
I'm gonna do the whole thing. Yeah. I love that.
Care.
I love that you go to the when you go to the Toad shop, you only ever talk to screens, so you don't interact with people. So it's only like you're buying things from Toad. I will say, because I needed to watch the ride to know if I was something that I would handle, the Mario Kart ride looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I want to do is the Mario Kart ride.
Yeah, the line for it's always going to be gnarly, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
The Yoshi ride's probably fine. I mean, it looks like essentially just a monorail, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to ride around. You're right. The cart, the ride vehicle is Yoshi, so it's sort of like you're riding
Yoshi. Yeah, I will buy into every little gimmick. I do not care if it's got Mario on it. I'm in it.
I would probably try to do 2 days there, but
yeah.
I would make sure I do everything.
Yeah, just I don't know, just like watching something about that and watching him act like a kid in that entire video is just like that's what Mario's about. It's just about being like a kid at heart.
Dude.
And
dude, I'm gonna get all the photos with all the mascots and stuff.
Dude, oh my god.
I was in Universal 2 years ago for the first time, and I was in the Springfield part, and they had the meet and greet with the Simpsons characters come out. I was like, I went and got in line, and then it's like
still want to do that. I want to go to like
Facebook.
I want to go to like Simpsons Land or whatever, and because I've never been there.
Takes it away.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I rode the Simpsons ride a bunch of times when I was there.
Oh, did
I went on Halloween Horror Nights. So once the Halloween part starts, like they have certain rides that just are running, but people aren't really in lines because they want to do the Halloween stuff.
Right.
I was like, well, how often am I here? Like, let me go on this a couple more times. which makes me really wish I went back there when it was back to that was ride was specifically was Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Um,
Oh my God.
I listen, once we get through this pandemic, let's go.
Let's go. I will be right there with you, man. Like
Yeah.
for real. I need to go to Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
It's made for people like us.
I get why it opened in Japan first. That's where
Sure.
it goes from. But
Yeah.
Harry's a big theme park guy, and he's saying the Orlando one's going to be different because it's got so much more space
Mhm.
that they can have way more. They're planning on having way more characters. I think they're going to add a Donkey Kong thing to it.
Nuh-uh.
Exclusive to Orlando. I think that one's going to be a straight up roller coaster because to me, like a minecart level is the perfect theme park.
Minecart madness.
Yeah, exactly.
It's written for it. It is
literally. And think of all the banana like food you can get there.
Okay, we need to go. We
all
like level up field trip or something.
Oh, we will definitely do like a video series and like we'll be reporting from there.
Reporting live from Super Nintendo World, baby.
Yeah, I really want it to come to the States. It's going to take forever though.
It is, but
I think
you know what?
2023 or something is when they're talking about opening in Florida.
Hey, that's only 2 years away.
I don't know, man. My body already hurts. I can't.
You never know, man.
I was doing the theme park stuff for the first time. I mentioned it in our theme park episode of the podcast, but I finally went to like Disney and those places for the first time like 2 years ago for a wedding. I officiated one at the Haunted Mansion.
That's right.
So it was my first time, being to Disney World. I was down in Orlando, so I was like, you know what? I never take vacation. Let me take a couple of extra days off. So I was down there in Halloween Horror Nights because it was in October. They were at Universal, and one of their big, attractions there was Ghostbusters. So I was like, hey, I'm down here. I got one of the combined tickets. I got to the normal park during the day, so I got to do a bunch of like the normal theme park stuff there, and then it switches over to the horror stuff, and that was a lot of fun. So those are some long days, man. I was so sore by the end of them.
I'm sure with just how packed those places are, like that's got to be.
Oh, it was the middle of October. It was so hot. I was dying.
Oh, really?
I will say what was nice at Orlando is you could get squishies from the Quickie Mart there, but they come in these like nice reusable like insulated like cups, and they're big. So that stayed cold all day, and it's like the only thing that kept me going.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
But yeah, all right, we're rambling. This is part of the podcast. Yeah. I need to end it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining me, Katie. Make sure you follow her.
Thanks for having me.
Make sure to follow her on Twitch as Tronbon with the zeros, and check out everyone else at Poorly Played Games, because I know even if you're streaming on yours, they'll probably host you.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm pretty active now on Poorly Played Games, like in the chat and everything. So I'm there all the time. So yeah, come hang out. We do we mainly do like Saturday nights. We do a bunch of social games. So like anybody. The
social games are really, speaking from experience, it's a really fun time to come hang out.
It is, and he's even expanded upon it very recently. So like we have even more social games that we're playing. Just not just Jackbox. We're playing other stuff too. So
yeah, what's nice about a lot of those games is like you can play it from home with everybody. Like
it's fun. We try to keep a very active community, and we have a Discord and everything.
And you have a fun jukebox mode there, so you can put in like songs you want to hear.
Yeah, we have some cool stuff coming up too. So we have some other stuff in the works. So
all right, so pay attention to that. Follow us at levelupentertainment.com or Level Up Entertainment on all the social media platforms. I'm not sure what as of this recording, we're about to open up our second location in Summers Point. I'm not sure if we'll have a date or anything announced by the time you are listening to this. Full disclosure, recording this on Sunday, the 18th. This episode will go up on this coming Friday. So between now and then, it will be soon though.
It's coming.
That's exciting. I'm excited for that to be done, so all of my free time can be free time again. But yeah, so thanks for listening to us. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Make sure you comment, let us know what kind of topics you would like us to cover in the future. Not sure what we're doing next. I know Harry's gonna continue doing the Falcon and Winter Soldier watching thing. We might do a special finale episode as the main episode next week, but we'll see. But so until then, be safe.